Hey, I'm Kevin O'Connor. The 2020 NBA draft is in the rearview mirror, but before the draft happened, I talked to 4 prospects who were selected in the lottery about their greatest weakness and what they're doing to get better at it. Now that we know where they were going, we're able to better analyze how they're going to be able to develop in the NBA. Let's start things off with Tyrese Haliburton. Haliburton was a projected lottery prospect for his feel for the game, his ability to make just really spectacular passes on the court. He's a guy who's a coach's dream with the way he defends and just makes all-around smart decisions. The question with him, and one of the reasons why I think we saw him fall from a guy who may have been a top 5 pick to number 12 at Sacramento, is because teams have questions about his ball handling, his athleticism, his burst, his ability to be a lead shot creator for you. So that's what I asked him about. Here's what he said.
Just doing what got me here. Spent a lot of time in the gym, working out 3 times a day, twice on the court, once in the weight room. So really just attacking it that way, watching a lot of film, paying attention to the little details. I think I've gotten really good words of wisdom from former NBA players. And so just have a constant conversation, watching film, doing everything I can to work on the little things and fine tune everything as we get closer.
It's encouraging to hear that Tyrese Haliburton has been working on these things because everything else is pretty much NBA ready after his 2 seasons at Iowa State. And the workout footage that we've seen from him is pretty encouraging. I like the way his handle looks. It looks tighter to me. His offhand, his left hand looks a lot better. And you know what? In Sacramento, this is perfect for him because he doesn't need to be that lead creator. He's in an offense that already has De'Aaron Fox, a guy who's developed quite well with the Kings and now looks like one of the better young point guards in the league. And now you got Fox's speed with Haliburton's feel, and the way these guys really interact with each other and the way they complement each other makes me feel really great about how Haliburton's going to be able to develop in the NBA. Next up, we have Deni Avdija. He surprisingly fell to the Wizards with the 9th pick. He was somebody that the Bulls were also considering at 4th. And with him, he checks almost every box, a lot like Haliburton. He has feel for the game. He can play make at 6'9". He's a reliable defender. But with him, he doesn't have the jump shot. And he's talked pretty openly in the past about the fact that maybe that's a confidence thing. There's a mental aspect to it. And so that's what I asked him about. What are you doing in terms of your shot mechanics, but also your mental preparation on the court? Here's what Avdija said.
I'm always getting bigger, always getting stronger. So the mechanics are a little bit changing when I'm growing up. When I was from 16 to 19 until I'm probably going to be 22, the mechanics will change a little bit. So it will take some time to adjust for sure. But yeah, I'm for sure making changes, making my shot quicker, making my footwork quicker and more efficient. I'm a guy who likes to improve, who's looking forward to improve.
You never want to hear a player admit that there's a mental component that's holding them back from success. Deni shot around 50% from the free throw line. He shot anywhere between 20% and mid 30% from 3-point range, depending on his year playing overseas. So with him, without the shot we see in today's league, you gotta be a reliable shooter or defenses aren't going to respect you. You see it with an extreme with like an Andre Robertson, or you saw it in the playoffs last year with Russell Westbrook, who's a star player, but teams didn't respect him. So with Avdija playing alongside now Bradley Beal and John Wall with a Wizards team that is on the clock with getting things right now, or else Beal's going to want out and Wall would be gone. It's important that he finds his shot soon for the overall franchise. But long term, I do have some confidence in Avdija. I think he has too much skill. There's too many positive indicators from him. And you would hope that over time, some of those excuses actually have validity to it. Maybe for him, it has been a problem with growing. Maybe the pressure overseas did get to him. He is just a teenager. So as he matures in the NBA and gets used to his body and his frame, you'd hope that those results get better. Because otherwise, he's always going to be somebody in the NBA who's a solid player that has one missing piece that holds him back from being great. And that potential to be great is there if he gets his jump shot. Obi Toppin. Dayton fans, I've heard from you more than anybody else, and I'm sure now Knicks fans are going to love Obi Toppin the same way Dayton fans did. So great for Obi to have that support. With him, there's no doubt how great he can be offensively. He's explosive around the rim. He can do some stuff off the dribble for you, and he can shoot threes as a big. Obviously, all these traits are critical for a big man in today's league, but you also need to play defense. And with Obi, he was not a good defender at the college level. Slow on the perimeter, did not look good or aware in the pick and roll. And without that, he's always going to be a liability on that end. And so, unsurprisingly, that's what I asked him about. What are you doing to get better on the defensive end of the floor, Obi? Here's what he said.
I'm in the weight room every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday working on my body. And I feel like I said before, a lot of different NBA guys have been coming through the gym. Jalen Brunson, Kevin Knox, Terrence Jones, and even some draftees. Like, having those different styles of play, playing against those guys, it's been helping me a lot, especially for defense. Like having to play some bigs, having to play some guards, like guarding a lot of the guards, like helped me a lot because how fast they are and how shifty they are. I have to be able to keep up, and if not, I'll be exposed. So I've been working on that a lot. I feel like I'm gonna prove a lot of people who feel that I can't play defense. I'm gonna prove a lot of people wrong.
That's all great. I look forward to seeing it during preseason and early on in the regular season, because until I do, I mean, it's kind of hard to believe it. That's a long way to go for a guy who was, let's just be honest, even Dayton fans have to admit this. He was bad on defense. He just was, especially from an NBA perspective. So it would be nice to see him in preseason alongside RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson, switching some screens. I'd love to see it. And if he does have that defensive aspect of his game, he has star potential. And also, this one other thought. He fell into the perfect situation for himself. Having a guy like Tom Thibodeau as head coach, obviously a guy who loves defense. He wakes up and thinks about defense. He goes to bed, puts his head on the pillow, and he's thinking about defense. Having a guy like that in your corner teaching you should be a good thing for Obi. With that said, Tom Thibodeau also coached Karl Anthony Towns when he was young, and Cat has not been able to turn on defense. It's largely about the player's own choice to change. And Obi thus far has expressed the willingness to improve. And I think that was evident in his answer. And also, everybody I talked to says Obi's a good kid and he wants to work hard and be as good as he can possibly be. So for the Knicks and for him, it seems like a pretty good match. Next up, we have Isaac Okoro going to the Cavs with the 5th pick. This is the best defender in this draft class. Okoro can grind on that end. He plays so hard. He's got the length and the strength to defend against guards, wings, and even some bigs. So for Cleveland, good for them to add some defense to their really horrible defense this past season. But can Okoro produce on the offensive end of the floor? That's the big question with his career. He can do some stuff. He can pass. He makes quick decisions. He knows his limitations. He can attack closeouts. But can he shoot? That's the question with so many of these guys that enter the league. And with him, it's truer than virtually anybody else. So I asked him, Isaac, what are you doing to work on your jumper? Here's what he said.
I would say during the college season, it was probably like a C+. But I feel like right now, I've been working every day, just putting up a lot of shots. And I feel like right now, it's around like a B+, A. I feel like just taking more time on my jump shot and just being more fluid with it, just learning how to get the ball higher. You know, during the college season, I shot a lot of flat balls, but I'm just learning right now just to shoot that high and get a higher arc on it.
Honestly, an impressive answer. It's very rare that you ask somebody about their bad jump shot and they tell you everything that's wrong with it. Higher arc, shot flat balls. I mean, that's great, man. It seems like he understands that this is an area that requires technical improvement. You know, sometimes you hear guys say, I'm just getting reps in. I got to improve my confidence. With him, he actually went into detail of what the flaws are. And I think that shows an acknowledgement and an awareness of what needs to be done in order to produce. Because Okoro's one of those guys, sort of like a Justice Winslow, where I felt confident with Winslow that he could at least become an average shooter. I mean, you would have hoped for more from Winslow. He's still a solid player, but the jumper's still not quite there. With Okoro, he also does show that potential to at least be average. And if he's at least average, he brings a lot else on the court to become an overall positive contributor for your team. One other thing I do want to add, though, with him is the confidence does matter. And with him, it's weird because he had stretches where he would be wide open for 3 at Auburn and he would pass up a shot and drive. And you could look at that one of two ways. Either it's a lack of confidence in his shot, or it's an understanding of what he's not good at, and he's doing something else instead of hurting his team by taking a shot. And with him, I'm not convinced confidence is really a problem. Everybody I talk to says he has a great head on his shoulders and is a confident player. And so for the Cavaliers, it's important that he adds that jump shot over the course of time, but more than anything else, finally, they have somebody who can play defense. Congratulations, Cleveland.
Cleveland! This is for you!
If you want more draft coverage, you got to head over to theringer.com. We got podcasts there. Jonathan Tjarks wrote an amazing article about the Timberwolves, and I did a podcast with your guy, J. Kyle Mann and Tjarks, about the NBA draft and our biggest takeaway. So be sure to check all that out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do me a favor, scroll down in the comments. Let me know what's your favorite prospect and team fit. For me, it's Precious Achiuwa going to the Miami Heat. That's an awesome fit there. And when you're there, please hit like and subscribe so you can get all of the Ringers videos in your feed. We get a bunch of NBA stuff coming over the next few weeks and months because the season's right around the corner. I'm excited. Let's go, baby. Basketball's almost back again. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Peace out.